everybody.
Okay, we got a minute left. Hey, Leo. Is anyone else having trouble getting voice to turn on? Or is it just me?
Just you.
It's me.
Where are you gonna
Okay.
in tonight?
I've changed my internet service providers recently. I just hope that's not what it is.
Ah.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah, I know, because Bell was just they were gouging the shit out of me. Like they almost doubled our rates without telling us. I thought this is ridiculous.
There.
Yeah. Right. So I switched over to something called Kojiko. I don't know if you guys have that in the States. I doubt you do.
Why can't I use anything here now?
Can I ask a question?
How the hell can I put up this?
I'm sitting
All
in
right.
the strand and I don't know what
I
I'm
will.
doing.
I would be absolutely glad to explain this to you. This
Please.
is how. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Rex,
when it's your
please.
turn, right?
Yeah.
You get to
Right.
choose whether or not you get your first question from column A or column B. When that's your turn, right?
Right.
Now, the question I do is, I ask a question that is a setup that has a blank in it, that these panelists will fill in. I will give you an example. The question could be something like, the family went to New York City and they were very surprised to see that Snow White was blank. All of these panelists will choose an answer for that. Right? And they usually pick something like, well, Snow White was drunk, she's a prostitute, she's like a big giant inflatable
Say
balloon that's
she's
80,
black.
or something like that, right?
Right. Okay.
Anyway,
That's
when they all answer, right, they put their answers inside these little things they sit on. You could tell that they wrote down their answer when their names turned red. You see these little nameplates they have? They turned red. That means they put their answers in there. When everyone has answered, then I come back to you, and I get your answer, and the most number of people that you match your answers with is how many points you get. So if you say, I'm very surprised to see that she was drunk, how many points you would get is depending on how many other people in this panel said drunk. Right? Well, here's Tindy. Tindy wrote something in her panel, and I just click on that. You read that, and it says, I'm not able to res anything right now. How about I res out the IQ tile?
How can
Sure. How can I res out the IQ tile? What you do is,
If
you
I
just
can't
shout.
res anything.
Just shout it out. Just shout. Just say, I want to do the IQ thing. Just type it in general chat. or
No,
something.
I made a special one for the fucking goddamn theme. I want to res it on my goddamn.
Oh,
How come
maybe
you can't res it out? How come you can't res anymore?
I don't know.
How the hell can I not?
Hold on. Oh, I got an idea. Tindy, you could wear it. Try putting it on.
Never mind. For some stupid reason, now it requires me to have the goddamn
All right.
fucking tag on when I didn't need it. When I didn't need it before. Ah!
All right. There we go. So,
Okay.
Rex. Anyway, Rex, I'm going to go back to you. Now, if you win the round, what happens is you have the most points at the end of the round. You get to choose which panelist you have the super question with. And then if it comes to that, I'll explain those rules to you when it comes to that, okay? They're really simple. All right?
Ouch.
So,
well, I'm completely lost, but I'm here for it.
Catboy, I'll help
Okay,
her out
all
if
right.
you get stuck.
Don't worry, don't worry.
all right, here we go. Match game,
we'll get
ready
you
to
through it.
start. Hooray. Hello.
We'll guide you through it.
Right, now I have a special announcement, and that
No.
is I specially arranged a bunch of Star Wars-themed questions for tonight.
I would certainly fucking hope so.
Right. Star Wars night. It's May the 4th be with you. So,
Which is
now
Sunday,
we
so I
have-
got it as close as I could get it.
Right. Now, to start the game, we have Rex is sitting in the green triangle. So, Rex, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip a coin to see who gets to go first. You get to call heads or tails to see who goes first.
I'm gonna go with towels.
You're going to go with tails. We have... This is an aboriginal piece of art of a swan trying to drown itself. That means tails. You just won.
Lovely.
All right.
Lovely.
I know, Kate.
Lovely.
Very strange. That's all I have to say. Anyway, so the Rex, that means that you get to choose. Do you want your question from column A or column B?
Or,
Or the ick question.
Oh, you got the ick. Or you could try your hand at the impossible question. Oh, wow, look at the ick. That is so cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
But the impossible question, I gotta warn you, is pretty tough sometimes.
Let's
That's why it's
go with
called
the impossible one right off the bat. We'll start it off with a bang.
Okay, the impossible question. Now, when the impossible question, it gains points just like a regular question, but if you match just one panelist, you'll immediately win 100 Linden. That's how that works. All right.
Hey,
You immediately win 100 Linden. Here we go with the impossible question right at the start of the game. And it is, when I was a kid, that's me, I'm talking about, Kapoi Kunhua. When I was a kid, my parents would not let me play with Star Wars toys.
Aw.
Because my mom said those toys were going to blank. She said those toys were going to blank. What were those toys going to do? Those toys were going to blank. So we wait on the panelists to come up with their answers, and Rex, you'll know that they'll have their answers in when all of their names turn red.
Say the question one more time.
Yes, I'll go through it again. It is, when I was a kid, my parents would not let me play with Star Wars toys because my mom said those toys were going to blank. My mom said those toys were going to blank.
No.
So we got our answers from Pepper and Porcelana. Oh, there's Jim. Jim's in. Jim's in. We're just waiting on Nick. Oh, Nick's in.
I'm in.
And there's Wild K and Bone.
okay, I'll turn on my...
Well, isolate the mic from the desk.
Come on, submit already. God damn it.
There we go. There we go. That's all 6. So now I go back to Rex. Okay, Rex, what I'm going to do is I'll repeat the question for you, and you fill in the blank. The question was, when I was a kid, my parents would not let me play with Star Wars toys because my mom said those toys were going to blank. What were they going to do?
Oh dear. Well, they were gonna ruin your mind.
They were going to ruin your mind. They were going to destroy you. They would ruin your mind. They were going to warp your brain. They're going to warp your brain, make you think that sort of thing is real. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Tindy said, bad influence. That's a match. That's
No
a point.
kidding.
Wow.
And 100
That's a
Linden.
bad influence. That is definitely a match right off the bat. Wild K, your answer is get blasted by the Death Star. My mom literally thought Star Wars were going to kill me when I was a kid. That's why I was not actually allowed to have them. She thought some kid choked to death on a little missile that fired out of one of the Battlestar Galactica toys, and ever since then, all science fiction toys, all space toys were banned.
I wanted the Battlestar Galactica, damn it.
No. Pepper, your answer is going to hell.
They're evil!
They're the
Almost
dark
a match, but not
side.
quite. Nick, your answer is steal your soul. No, those were the action figures that were going to do that, not the Star Wars. You got those mixed up. Porcelana, your answer is hell. Those toys are going to hell. And Jim, your answer is blow things up. Those toys were going to blow. But you got a match. That's a point right off the bat. There you go.
Does
You
it
got
give
a point.
her the
That
100
means you win
Linden?
100 Linden. You just won 100 Linden right off the bat for getting one match with the impossible question. All right. Now we're going to Leo.
Lots of the
Leo,
dark side.
since Rich
have a
picked
buffet.
the impossible question, that leaves you with a choice of A or B. Which do you want?
Hey,
No, it's B for Bill. Catboy.
Hey!
You're going
I was
B
gonna
for
say
Bill.
A.
Here we go. B for Bill. All right. Everybody plays. The question is, here we go.
yes.
Question is, the stormtroopers' aim was so bad.
How bad was it?
I'll tell you how bad it was. It was often said that he couldn't hit the side of a blank. I'll go through that again. The stormtrooper's aim was so bad, it was often said that he could not hit the side of a blank.
How bad was it?
Very, extremely,
Side of a blank.
large, huge.
Oh, there's Sonia.
Hello, Sonia.
Sorry, Sonia. We already had the impossible question.
And Leo didn't get it. I thought he was going to get it, but he didn't get it.
Where are you?
Yeah, we have a brand new player, and she got the impossible question first try.
Off the bat.
There we go. That's all 6. Yeah, got the impossible first try. Here we go. Leo, I'm going to repeat the question just for you. The question was, Stormtrooper's aim was so bad, it was
How bad was
often
it?
said he couldn't hit the side of a what?
Well, the biggest thing I can think of is the Death Star.
He couldn't hit the side of a
Right.
Death Star. which is a huge bloody thing. Side of a Death Star.
Unless it's-
There's a lot of big things in
Unless it's
Star
Death
Wars
Star
to pick from.
2.0, then that's even bigger.
Yeah, there's a lot of big things, but there we go, Death Star, boom. Could have picked lots of things like, I don't know, the side of a
Star
bank of
Destroyer, Superstar Destroyer, planet.
Superstar Destroyer. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's big things in there.
Star Wars.
Here we go. Death Star with computer-guided laser. That is another match. Pepper, your answer is a barn. Putting it the side of a bank of
Barnes and
Yeah, back to the barn.
Pepper.
Let's see. Nick, your answer is Death Star. There we go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I was gonna say
Porcelana,
Power
your
Prism,
answer is
but you know.
barn.
What is wrong with you?
It's either Death Star or barn. There we
Have you
go.
never seen Star Wars?
Jim, your answer is
Baby
a
Pepper.
planet. A whole damn planet.
Good one. Yeah,
Whole
that's
damn
I answered the same twice.
out of a planet. Okay, that means it's now 3-1. But Rex, you get one more turn. That means you get to choose. Do you want your question from column A or column B?
I'll go with column A.
Column A, going with column A. Here we go. In this one, everybody plays except for Tindy. You already matched. You can answer for fun if you want to. Here
You know
we
I
go.
do.
Here we go. Emperor Palpatine was such a cranky old man.
How cranky was he?
I'll tell you how cranky he was. He once said, "I can't believe the Death Star was blown up by a bunch of blanks." I can't
Here you
believe
go.
the Death Star was blown up by a bunch of blanks.
Sorry, I just lost something else.
Jim, help me. Okay.
We got a fun
Want
answer
help?
from
I need a
Tindy,
hint.
but we need our serious answers from everybody else. There's Jim and Wild K are in. I can't wait to see what these ones are going to be if you guys are laughing this soon.
Oops, too late.
Oh well. But it's true. It's absolutely freaking true.
Yeah. We're waiting on Nick and Pepper.
I don't know what the hell to put, man. Thank you.
Remember, if you're a panelist and you have trouble coming up with an answer, it's okay for you to privately IM one of the other panelists.
I can't give
an
everybody
answer,
a joke
as they
answer.
trade in
I wouldn't
answers
put that
all
on
the
me.
time
Don't
on
give
the
me a
regular
joke
show.
answer. Give me something.
It's a joke answer, kinda.
Alright, it's... I'm gonna say...
There we go. Pepper's in. And we're just waiting on Nick.
Yeah, it's just like starting comedy. We're waiting on Nick.
Just like... How about that shit, everyone?
Just waiting on Nick.
gallery's still talking.
Alright.
Filling dead air, Jim. It's good television.
Okay.
We'll take a break
There
from
we
this
go.
game.
That's our
Station
six. So now we
identification.
go
Yeah,
back
that makes
to
sense.
Rex. Okay,
Doesn't
Rex.
matter.
The question was, Emperor Palpatine was such a cranky old man. He once said, "I can't believe the Death Star was blown up by a bunch of blanks."
You know, honestly, I would have been like, what kind of losers blew up my Death Star? So I'm going to say a bunch of losers.
A bunch of losers.
A bunch
of losers.
Yeah.
And they did, that's in context. They did see the Rebel as a bunch of losers. They really did. Yes, they did. So here we go. Tindy, your answer is teenagers. That's the one I would have gone with. You fucking teenagers.
And I would have
blew up
won
my
the
Death
Galaxy
Star.
too if it weren't for them damn teenagers.
Teenagers.
Yeah, you damn teenager. And he was a teenager. That's absolutely, that's in there. Yeah.
That's why I said it's funny yet
Okay.
accurate.
Ewoks.
Dub, dub.
Death Star.
Yeah,
That would be the
dub,
second
dub.
Death Star, by the way. Yeah.
That's-
Let's see. Pepper, your answer is Skinny Boys. Bunch of
You
skinny
skinny
boys.
boys.
Skinny boys. Nick, you wrote kids. A bunch
You
of kids.
damn kids.
You damn kids, get off
That's
my
all I
Death
could think
Star.
of with old man.
Teenagers.
Oh, good.
Porcelana, you said amateurs. Amateurs. And let's see, Jim, your answer is sand rats. Sand rats.
No, that's Womp Rat.
Fortunately, Rex, you were not able to catch up to Leo. That means Leo is an automatic win for you. All right, Leo. So, Leo, that means you get to choose who do you want for the super question.
Oh gosh. How about Porcelana?
You want Porcelana. We're going to Porcelana. Here we go. Porcelana.
Porcelana is a secret square, everybody.
All right, Porcelana.
Yes?
You know the rules. I'm going to type out and say the super question at the same time. We have a new person here tonight, so
Tell us the rules.
one of my favorite things to do. So I'm going to type it out and say it. You send the answer to me and me only in a private IM. The super question is blank kisses. Blank kisses.
I'm thinking.
These are not the suggestions you're looking for. Move along. Okay, I like that actually. That's pretty funny. All right.
Still thinking.
Still thinking.
Blank kisses.
Well, I got one right on top of my head.
Yeah.
And there's another one.
Just waiting on Porcelana.
Oh, I was doing it in my thing. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, don't type it in general chat. I'll break all your little fingers.
Oh, no.
Break all of Yoda's little fingers. They're so tiny too. All right, I have my super answer. Everyone, shout your suggestions, please.
Hershey. Butterfly.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Leo.
Sweet.
Okay, now Leo, since we have a new person here,
That's
I want to
good
go
too.
through the rules so that Rex has a chance to know what we're doing here. Now,
Yes,
you're going to
please.
get 3 guesses at it. If you get it right on the first try, you're going to win 500 Linden. If it takes 2 tries, you only win 250. 3, you only get 100. And if it takes more than that, you get...
Nothing. Nada. Zip. Zero. Bupkis. You go home crying.
Bupkis. The big 0. Okay, what is your first guess on blank kisses?
Eskimo. French.
How about
There you
French
go.
kisses? I like super
French
bad boys.
kisses.
Trouser snake.
French kisses. Hey. Is the answer French kisses? No, I'm afraid not. I'm going to give you a clue for the second one. It's
she's
the
wrong.
kind of kisses that Eskimos do.
Oh gosh, nose kisses.
Is the answer nose kisses? Yes, it is. You just won 250 Linden. Woo!
Nice nose
All
That's
right.
beside the point.
So Leo will need you to stand up. Rex, you don't have to go anywhere. You haven't won anything yet. And if anyone's going to
So
trade
you get to
places in
keep
the panel,
playing.
now's the time to do it.
Do it. Do
Rex,
it.
you don't get to go anywhere.
Oh, that's lovely.
If you don't win, you get to sit there until next
You
week.
got to stay there until you win.
Until you win.
Oh,
Yeah, you got. Yeah, you got
that's
the.
it.
Yeah.
Could be all the way till next week.
I got the
We got the
house.
impossible question, so that's
Right.
doing pretty good. But
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, gotta
You
win
sure
the
did.
round.
You sure did. As a matter of fact, you're the first brand new contestant I've seen that got the ick on the first try. And that's what we call the impossible question. We call it the ick.
That's an IQ. Ick.
That's what I call the shit that killed all my goldfish.
Well, you should clean out
That's
the
the
fucking
ick. Now,
fish
did you
tank.
guys trade places in the panel? All right, we are ready to roll.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Here we go. We're going
Let's
to the
go.
second round. Now, since we started with a green triangle and we go to the red circle, that means Sonia, you get to choose. Do you want your question from column A or column B?
I'll go with A.
Starting with A. Here we go. Top of the round. Everybody plays. Question is. Okay, now, does everyone remember in the original Star Wars, as a funny line, Leia said to Chewbacca, "Someone get this walking carpet out of my way." Right? But a lot of people don't know is that line was a rewrite. The original line said, "Will someone get this walking blank out of my way?" I'll go through that again. When Leia said, "Someone get this walking carpet out of my way," that line was a rewrite. The original line was, "Someone get this walking blank out of my way."
All right, dumbass.
Jim's in.
Good for you.
Woo!
Oh man, you guys are going in there pretty fast now. There we go. That's all 6.
Confused.
Bam, bam, bam. All right, we go back to Leo. Okay, sorry, I meant to say Sonia. Sonia,
Fuck
Leo's in the
you,
panel
asshole.
now.
Give me 100 Linden for that.
No, I caught it myself.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
the egregiousness of it.
Hoo-hoo.
Deal with it.
Okay. So when Leo said, "Someone get this walking carpet out of my way," that was a rewrite. The original line was, "Someone get this walking blank out of my way."
Merkin.
This walking what?
Oh, what?
Oh, Merkin. Merkin, right? This giant Merkin. Right. Well, we all know what that is.
No, we don't.
Get this big walking Merkin out of my way. That would be a Merkin for Hong Kong's wife, I suppose. Jesus
Cubic
Christ.
wig that they use on
Yeah.
film sets to give actresses big bush.
Yep. That's what it was.
You're
We
monster.
all know that.
You're jerking my Merkin. Let's see. Tindy, you said fuzzy ball. Get this fuzzy ball. It's close, but not quite. Not quite. Well, okay, your answer is furball. This furball out of my way. Pepper, your answer is fuzzball.
Which is what I was trying to
Leo,
type.
your answer is cat. This giant cat, dog, or whatever. All right. Porcelana, your answer is dog. All right, I figure someone would pick that. And Jim, your answer is mountain of hairballs.
We're hairball.
All of these really close. I like mountain of hairballs, by the way. I think that would have been genuinely funny. All right. Oh well. No matches, unfortunately, for Sonia. That means, Rex, we go to you. You get your question from column B. Here we go. We go to the panelists. Everybody plays. The question is... Now, once did you hear Darth Vader's breathing unit, that...
Yes, in the back of the room doing it right
his
now.
breathing unit once broke down. It was so embarrassing.
How embarrassing was it?
Was it?
Oh, God, until they fixed it, they had to hook him up to a blank. Breathing unit broke down. It was so embarrassing. Until they fixed it, they had to hook him up to a blank.
Somebody's cackling.
There we go. That's all 6. So now I go back to Rex. Okay, Rex, I'll repeat the question just for you.
Right.
Darth Vader's breathing unit once broke down. It was so embarrassing for him. Until they fixed it, they had to hook him up to a blank.
Oh, the only thing I can think of is like a mobile CPAP machine or something like that.
A CPAP machine. I love that. CPAP.
That's good.
Yeah, they had to hook him up to a CPAP machine.
That's good.
There you go.
Yep, a CPAP. Let's see. Tindy, your answer is an air compressor, which is close, but not quite a CPAP. Let's see. Well, okay. I love that answer, by the way. That's really clever. Well, okay, your answer is scuba tank. A scuba tank. Pepper, your answer is a vacuum hose. There's a cheap
Well, that
solution.
really sucks.
Yeah, there's a cheap solution. Leo, your answer is a ventilator.
Yeah, I meant an incubator.
Well,
Like
that's
COVID.
kind of a... Yeah, I'm going to count that. It's a CPAP
Ventilator.
machine. It is a ventilator,
Yes,
isn't it?
there you go.
Okay, yeah, porcelana. Yeah, it's another word for
I
CPAP.
said. What did I
You said
say?
CPAP machine. Here we go. That's 2 points. All right, and Jim, your answer is an Electrolux. That's a vacuum cleaner. That's funny. All right, there we go. That's 2 points for Rex. There we go. All right. Okay, that means, Sonia, once again, you get to choose. Do you want your question from column A or column B?
I'll stick with A.
You're sticking with A. All right, here we go. Everybody plays. The question is, now, back on the farm with his Uncle Owen, Luke was grounded once because he took the land speeder. No, he was grounded. He was grounded once because they took the land speeder out racing and he crashed it into a blank. Hey, you put that thing away. You don't know where that thing has been.
I know exactly what
All
that
right,
thing is.
Yoda. You put that away, Yoda. No playing with the lightsabers in the middle
Hey!
of the thing here.
Hey, with my lightsaber volunteer, I'm going to chop your head off.
Okay.
If
Question
anyone
again?
needs me to repeat that, I can.
Question again.
Yeah, I'll get to that again. It was, let's see, back on the farm with his Uncle Owen, Luke was grounded because he took the land speeder out racing and he crashed it into a blank. You know, he probably really did that at least once. That's got to be canon.
Well, until he got really good, you know.
Yeah.
So the accordions kicked in.
Yeah.
have his blue milk that day.
There we go. We're just waiting on Walke and Porcelana.
Milk! Don't go out without drinking your blue milk!
Oh, there's Porcelana.
Yes, I
All right.
believe.
Oh, there we go. That's 2. We go back to Sonia. All right, Sonia. Sonia, the question was, back on the farm with Uncle Owen, Luke was grounded because he took the land speeder out racing and he crashed it into a blank. What did he crash it into?
A bantha. Those big
A
woolly
bantha,
elephants.
right? The big furry things. They're huge. You'd wreck the car if you hit one of those.
They're
Or at least-
elephants wearing a merkin, by the way.
Yeah, your big elephant wearing. You would either wreck the car, or there'd be a lot of blood all over that car. Oh, get out the garden hose. You got to wash down the land speeder. I hit a bantha with it. Dindy, you're at.
I got something bigger.
Jawa sandcrawler. Yeah, that'll do some damage. That'll do.
How
some
can you
damage.
not see that thing?
Yeah, I know. It's the size of a whole damn house. More like an apartment building, really.
Yes.
And it's in a
Well,
freaking
okay, you
desert. There's
said
not much around.
sand dune. Crash into a sand dune. All right, here we go. Pepper, your answer is cow.
No.
You hit a cow with it.
Where do you think you get the blue milk from?
Yeah, you hit a cow. Leo wrote down
Holy
a
cow.
walker. A walker.
Like an
You
AT-AT.
like the AT-AT thing, right?
Or a sad ad.
The walker
Yeah.
with the guns firing. I thought they were the coolest.
Yeah,
ones.
okay, that's the AT-AT machine. Yeah,
Yep.
of course. Porcelana, you said farm equipment. Farm equipment. And Jim, your answer is AT-AT. AT-AT. Well, fortunately, Sonia, that was your second shot, and you didn't catch up to Rex. That means Rex, you win the round.
Yay, Rex!
Hooray for Rex. Okay, Rex, that means that you get to choose which of the panelists you want for the super question.
Game you did.
Choose wisely, you must now. Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well. I don't know.
Just pick
Yeah.
one.
Eeny, meeny, miny, him.
Yes. $10.
You're going with Tindy. We're going with Tindy
Tindy,
right up
thank
top.
Hey,
Thank you, that's so much
Tindy.
easier.
Yes, I know, that's what I told you.
Tindy.
Just
All
call
right,
him.
Tindy. I just got to find. There it is. There we go. All right, Tindy. You know the rules. I'm going to say.
Yes, I do.
I'm going to type it out and say the super question at the same time. And since you're the one that's coming up with the answer, you don't get to say suggestions. Do
I
it.
can suggestion all I want.
No, you can't.
Suggestion, suggestion, suggestion.
Yeah.
wow.
Hey.
Give me a damn question.
Rose playing with her saber is sticking out.
Oh, she lonely
You're no
again.
blind doing that!
Oops,
Yeah.
sorry. Not really.
All right, Tindy. The super question is blank
Stop rubbing it.
bubble. Blank bubble.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, I have my super answer. Everybody shout your suggestions, please.
Double.
Burst my bubble.
Oh, no.
All right.
First year.
Okay, Rex, now go through the rules again just for you. You're going to get 3 guesses at it. If you get it right in the first try, it's 500. Second, 250. Third, it's 100. And if he takes more than that, you get
Nothing out of zip, 0 buckets.
about this. All right.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. All right, Rex. What is your first guess for blank bubble?
That's what I'm gonna say, the farce. Or farce. May the
Force
farce
bubble.
be with you. Farce.
Force bubble. Is the answer force bubble? No. No, I'm afraid not. But I'm going to give you a clue for the second one. The 2008 economic crisis was caused by a what bubble? The economic 2008 crisis was
I
often
think
said-
cerebral.
I've got the IQ to talk about the 2008 economic crisis.
I know,
She's in
but
Australia.
because of
gosh.
what Tindy picked, that's literally all I've got to work with.
Oh, dear.
Ollie!
Ah,
Literally the first thing that came to mind.
A what?
a shite bubble. I don't know.
What's that?
A shite.
Shit!
shit! Shit!
A shit bubble. Oh, okay. Is the answer a shit bubble? No, I'm afraid not. Trying to think
Oh,
of
dear,
another
dear.
word for flat. Where do people live?
Housing bubble.
Oh.
Oh, Tindy, can't believe you picked
My items are lighting up. I'm trying to think of this, honestly.
Say it again.
Housing?
And don't tell people your IMs are lighting up.
I'm not looking at him. I'm not looking at him.
Oh, you can.
Well,
look,
maybe you
don't tell
should.
anyone.
Yes.
That's why they're IMs.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I didn't call anybody out. I'm thinking with me head.
Think with your eyes, look at your IMs.
My penis.
Whatever for you.
It's had a head,
Point,
but-
Tindy.
I does it.
So what is your third guess for blank?
Sure.
Okay, economic bubble. No, I'm afraid not. It was a housing bubble.
See?
A housing bubble is what Tindy picked. But
I'm sorry, it's literally the first thing that
But
came
you
to my
did
mind.
get the super question right. You got 100, Lyndon. So we're ready to run on to the third round. We'll need you to stand up, please, Rex. And if anyone wants to trade places in the panel, now's the time to do it. But thanks for playing, Rex. We really appreciate that.
Yes.
Very, very much. Thank you for playing.
Thank you. I have no idea
Thank
what's
you
going
for
on.
playing.
You are amazing.
Really. But we're going to need a new contestant, and if anyone's going to trade places,
Hey?
now's the time to do it.
Who's going to pay?
Who's going to be a contestant?
Katie.
Who dares kick my ass?
Who dares?
Or
Who
Johan.
dare lick your ass?
Tiger Lily.
I do.
My favorite.
All right, we
Who
got
dare lick his
Johan.
lick her ass? Oh my god.
Okay, I said, well, I guess we're ready to roll now.
And you do.
We're ready to
Yes.
roll. Now, since we went with the red circle last time, now we're going to go back to the green triangle. That means Johan, you get to choose first. I'm sorry. Do you want your question from column A or column B?
I take it from A.
You're going with A. I need
A,
to turn you up.
yes.
I can barely hear you. Hold on. All right, just a
You
second. I
said
need to
A.
turn Johan up a bit here. There we
A?
go.
Hey, you're Canadian.
There we
You
go.
should know
Hey.
A.
Hey. Yes.
Hey, how you doing, A? How's it going, A? Oh, heck yeah, A.
I learned my A from
Here we go. Okay, here's go. Start of the round, everybody plays. The question is, one time on Tatooine, Han Solo and Chewbacca got so drunk.
How drunk were they?
I'll tell you how drunk they got. Han spent the night in a drunk tank, and then he had to retrieve Chewbacca from a blank. I'll go through that again.
Oh, I've already got
Time
mine.
on Tatooine, Han Solo and Chewbacca got so drunk, Han spent the night in a drunk tank and had to retrieve Chewbacca from a blank.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Well, you can do it.
Got it.
Yay.
There we go, that's all six. So, let's see. So now we go back to Johan. All right, Johan, the question
Yeah.
was, one time on Tatooine, Han Solo and Chewbacca got so drunk, Han spent the night in a drunk tank, and then he had to retrieve Chewbacca from a blank.
From a dog shelter, I think.
From a dog pound. He had to get Chewbacca back from a dog. How embarrassing would that be? Let's see. From a dog pound. Let's see. Tindy, you said dog pound. That is a match.
Woo!
Woo! Let's see. Well, okay, your answer is a pound. That's a match. Pepper, you wrote a horse. Oh! Chewbacca. Oh, my God. Oh, that
What's your wife gonna say?
children's
Ma-
movie, for God's sake. What is wrong with you people?
Biatches.
All right.
You
Leo,
biatch.
you said dog pound. That's a match.
Bye.
Porcelana, you said the bathroom. He was vomiting all night. Wow, that's a lot of vomit. That's a
And that's all I hear to get vomit in.
Probably had to flush several times to get it all down. Jim, Your answer is the kennel. That is a match. Had to retrieve poor Chewbacca from
That's
that
a
kennel.
4 for
How
you.
humiliating would that be? Okay, so I knew you're getting your question from column B. Here we go. Everybody plays. The question is, right now, if you ever stop by the cantina in Mos Eisley Spaceport, you'll find all sorts of weird aliens of all shapes and sizes from all over the galaxy. Also, if you go to the bathroom, the urinal looks like a blank. I'll go through that again. It was a bit of a long one. If you ever stop by the cantina in Mos Eisley Spaceport, where you'll find all sorts of scum and villainy.
Of course
You'll
you
also
do.
find all sorts of weird aliens of all shapes and sizes from all over the galaxy. Also, if you go to the bathroom, the urinal looks like a blank. The urinal looks like a blank.
Correct. I swear to.
Oh, that's 3 very fast answers. Just pop, 4. Cindy, Leo, Porcelana, Jim's in. We're just waiting on Pepper and Walke.
Not me.
Pepper.
Here's waiting on Pepper. There we go, that's all 6. It's all 6, so now I go back to Sonia. Alright, Sonia. Sonia, if you go to the canteen in Mos Eisley Spaceport, you'll see all kinds of aliens of all shapes and sizes from all over the galaxy. Also, if you go to the bathroom, the urinal looks like a blank.
Not to get political, but it's a little political. Due to it being just, a few years after the Clone Wars, in which droids were the major enemy, it's well known that they didn't like droids. They even had a droid serving as a keg behind the bar.
That's
And
true.
An assassin droid. So I'm going to say droid heads were the urinals.
They used the droid as a urinal. They peed all over a poor droid. We don't serve your kind in here. Well,
Oh, yeah,
Hollywood
probably.
turn
We
you
serve
into
with
a-
your kind in here, but that's the point.
Think of those think of those droids, the battle droids. They had those long heads. They turn them upside down and put them on the wall.
It's a urinal.
It's a urinal.
Okay. The hollowed out droid. Any kind of droid would be an answer. At least, Tindy, your answer is an Escher painting. Oh my god, it looks like an Escher painting. Oh my god. All sorts of weird colored pee from all over the galaxy. Alright. Well, okay, your answer is a spaceship. Oh, creative. A spaceship. Pepper, your answer is manure pile. Like a manure pile.
From 1,000 different
Leo,
species.
your answer is black hole.
Event
I have
horizon.
no idea what that
Black
is.
hole.
Black hole.
Oh, black hole. Look like a black hole.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay. You're using a singularity to get rid of all the pee.
Yes, you got it.
Right. Alright.
Gets sucked in.
Porcelana, your answer is a vortex.
That's
Alright.
clever.
Clever. And
Get out.
Jim, your answer is Lily. Lily. Don't know where you were going with that. By the way, I stole this idea from Al Jaffe in Mad Magazine. My idea was that their urinals look like a piece of modern art. Closest one that got to that.
That's why I said Escher.
Pollock painting, yeah. Right. So, anyway,
This way, that way,
means
impossible.
that Johan, was that Tony, you didn't have a chance to catch up. Oh, wait a minute. Was that
That
the
was the first round.
That's the first round, right? Okay, right. I'm sorry.
Try again.
We get to go again.
Thank you for
Okay,
calling.
We get one more round. And this, so Johan, once again, you get to choose your question from column A or column B.
I'll take B this time.
You're taking B. Okay, now this round, only Porcelana and Pepper need to answer. Everybody else, you can answer for fun if you want to. Here we go. Here we go. This is a little known fact. Ewoks smell so bad.
How bad do they smell?
Wow.
I'll tell you how bad they smell. They even curl the hairs on blank. Go Go through that again. Ewoks smell so bad, they even curl the hairs on blank. Don't type your answer in general chat. I'll have to break all your little fingers. I hear that sound. It makes me nervous.
On the typing sound? You mean
Yeah.
that sound here? Oops.
Don't do that. Don't do the thing. Oh, there we go. Well, wow, that's very quick. Is Jim gonna answer? Well, Jim doesn't have to answer. He can answer.
If you don't want to, but he
Yeah, there
will.
we go. That's all 6. So now I go back to, all right. Johan, once again, I'll go through the question with you. The question was, little known fact, Ewoks smell so bad they even curl the hairs on blank.
Yeah, so what's his name? That green blob, Jabba the Hutt, I think.
Jabba the Hutt. Curl the hairs
Not
on...
much
And
hair,
it would-
but
Oh, that's
Yeah, but if I'll tell you what. I mean, and on top of that, the guy, his throne was literally over the biggest shitter on the whole goddamn galaxy. It was right above the Rancor pit, which had to smell like God knows what. It would take a lot to make the hairs on him curl. So, that's a bad smell. All right, here we go. For fun, Tindy, your answer is the Rancors. It's curled the hairs on a Rancor. Wow. I like that.
There's a reason why there's
Okay, your
Rain
answer
in their
is-
name.
Chewbacca's poop hole. My God, okay, that's the kind of answer I expect from Sonya.
You doors proud.
My gosh. All right, Pepper. Fun. Let's see. No, for real, your answer is skunks. Skunks.
That's pretty stinky.
Okay, Leo, your answer is Chewbacca. I figured that's what everyone would have picked. Porcelain,
I was going to,
your
but
answer is Chewbacca. And Jim, your answer is Chewie. Chewie, aka Chewie. So you didn't pick up any points.
oh well.
Choose to.
All right,
Obviously.
so now we're going to go to Sonya. Sonya, get your question from column A. Here we go. Everybody plays. The question is... now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Tell us.
Lando Calrissian never told this to Han Solo. But Cloud City gas mining was nothing more than a front for an illegal casino. The reason why the city was round is because it was really a giant blank.
Oh, what are those things? Oh, what are those things?
Lando Calrissian never told this to Han Solo, but Cloud City was nothing more than gas mining was nothing more than a front for an illegal casino. The reason why the city was round was because it was really a giant blank.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Giant blank.
That's what I'm thinking of. Thank you.
Well, I could have told you that.
Cool. That's what it is. Thanks, y'all. Oh.
Yes, I do. Okay.
There we go. That's everybody. I go back to Sonya. All right, Sonya. Here we go. Lando Calrissian never told this to Han Solo, but the whole gas mining thing was just a giant front for an illegal casino. The reason why Cloud City was round and shaped like that is because it was actually a giant blank.
Oh.
Roulette wheel.
A roulette wheel. And it looks like an upside-down roulette wheel, doesn't it? It looks exactly like one. Yeah.
Sure
The
does.
giant roulette wheel. Let's see how many people you get with that one. That is Indy. Your answer is a roulette wheel. There we go. That's a match. You have a chance to catch up here. Well, okay. Your answer is a roulette wheel. Pepper. Your answer is a nebula. I don't know what that is. A nebula. All right. Just a regular nebula. Leo. Your answer is a
Rotating
roulette
gas cloud.
wheel. Oh my gosh. We're getting close here. Porcelana, your answer is a roulette wheel. One more, and it's going to recover. Sonya can have a win. It's all up to you, Jim. Jim, it's all on you. If you say roulette wheel, he wins it. If not, it's going to be a tie. Your answer is roulette wheel. Sonya steals a win.
Insane. Nice.
Sonya, 5-4. Woohoo, Sonya.
Yeah.
All right, Sonia, wouldn't that be really cool though if that giant city was nothing more than a massive roulette wheel, the big ball bouncing through it? That'd be pretty. I think that's the reason why it was shaped the way it is, just to sort of imply, because you know that everyone knows Orlando was into gambling. You know, maybe it had something to do with his character or something like that. Who knows? All right, Sonia, you win the game. That means you get to choose any one for the super question.
I'm gonna go with Porcelana.
Porcelana.
Yeah, you know,
Porcelana.
why is the Avatar there?
All right. Why is the Saboteur there? Yeah, Yoda. That's all right. All right, Porcelana, you know the rules. I'm going to type it out and say it. Overdue. All right, Porcelana, the super question is Riot blank. Riot blank.
Ah.
Riot blank.
The only thing I can think of is because
You type that in, you don't say it.
they have to
You write that
blah,
down
blah,
in the
blah,
thing.
blah, and
There
then
you
they
go.
blah, blah,
I
blah,
have my
blah.
super answer. Everyone shut your suggestions, please.
Type answer and you will, yes.
Riot gear.
Okay. We go to Sonia.
Quite right, yes.
Big question just for you was you only get 3 guesses out. What's your first guess for Riot blank?
I'm gonna go with Gear.
Riot Gear. You know, if it was blank Riot, I would have gone with Quiet Riot, but it is. It's Riot Gear. You just won 500 Linda.
Sonia!
Congratulations.
I only had one Star Wars question I didn't get to use,
Go for it.
and it was.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Most of what R2-D2 says is never translated for the audience. And the reason why is because it's a kid's film and R2-D2 is, what?
Sailor.
Yeah, he swears all the time. He was a swearer. He was swearing constantly. Oh man, he had a mouth on him like a longshoreman at low tide. Yeah. There we go. Well, that's the game for tonight, everyone. Thank you for playing. Lots of fun. Be prepared for another episode of Match Game for next week. And don't forget to please tip the sim over here. It's the little green fleur-de-lis thing right over here. This thing. Please tip the sim because we're broke. All right.
Woo! Thank you.
And I will see you all next week. I'm going to go to Hornbeck and get myself some brand new men's clothing because it's Men's Clothing Day and it's time for me to celebrate.
Hornbacks is nice.
It is
All
nice.
right.